A false allegation can devastate a career, and it can devastate a family.
Since I knew that there was no truth to it whatsoever, I felt it my responsibility to stand up not only for myself in that instance, but stand up for my children.
And the evidence will show that Ms. Heard's false allegation had significant impact on Mr. Depp's family and his ability to work in the profession he loved.
Who at the time were 14 and 16, and so they were in, I thought it was diabolical that my children would have to go to school and have their friends or approach them with the infamous People magazine cover with Miss Heard with I'd probably been in the industry 30 plus years, 35 years. Never had any problems, anything like that. My goal is the truth.
No one had ever in 5 decades accused Johnny Depp of being violent with a woman. He had been in other long-term relationships. He had children.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh.
Now, you're a lot bigger than Amber, correct? Physically?
I wouldn't say that.
Times Johnny Depp lost his composure. Johnny Depp has made it clear over the last several years that he's been wrongly accused of various things over the years by his ex-wife and Amber Heard, not the least of which that he's been alleged by Heard and those close to her to have been AB to her, and that he was the reason that their marriage fell apart. Over the course of his defamation trial, he's done all he can to better explain what was going on with him, with Heard, and everything else in his life. And at times he lost his composure for better and for worse. We'll show you some examples of this, but before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. The laugh. Due to the fact that we're going to be showing some serious content later, how about we start with some lighthearted content for now? As Depp's legal team did their follow-up questioning after his cross-examination concluded, the Pirates of the Caribbean actor was asked to list his other movie franchises. After quickly rattling off Alice in Wonderland, he was unable to recall other projects and then joked about how he avoids watching his films. "I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done," Depp said on the stand with a smile. "I'm sorry, I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them." What was the question again? Several people in the Fairfax, Virginia courtroom then laughed loudly, prompting Judge Escarte to say, "Order in the court or I will have you removed." Understood? Thank you. While this may seem like an odd time to lose composure, this shows that even in the face of public scrutiny and potentially not getting the verdict he wants, Depp is still able to poke fun at himself and make it clear that he's not so numb to all of this that he can't have a laugh at himself. And it wouldn't be the last time he laughed. The bodyguard question. This past Friday, the defamation trial against Amber Heard, which has already featured photos of feces, severed digits, and melted ice cream, included a discussion about Depp's No, really it did. In a Zoom testimony, Malcolm Connolly, who still works for the actor, was asked about whether it's true or not that Depp was urinating in the foyer of the home he and Heard were renting in Australia in 2015 while filming Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Connolly agreed that he had heard noises from inside the home, and when he entered, saw Depp in the foyer. And Mr. Depp was trying to urinate in the foyer, wasn't he? The lawyer inquired, to which Connolly replied, "No, Mr. Depp had his didn't he?" The lawyer continued, "I think I would have remembered seeing Mr. Depp's," quipped the British bodyguard, reducing Depp and others to gales of laughter. This time around, it's not hard to see why he and others were laughing, because quite frankly, it was ridiculous that the lawyer couldn't take a hint and see the bodyguard wasn't going to say he saw his boss's parts, but instead insisted that he did, all to try and prove Heard's side of the case, no doubt. And yet all it did was show many that Heard's lawyers aren't as good as they think they are, which might be a problem for them later on.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Sadly, this is the last of the good moments that we'll see from Depp, as the others are a lot more painful, talking about his childhood AB. One of the hardest things that Depp arguably had to do was give a reason as to why he would never ever hurt Amber Heard or any other woman in his life, which at first seems like an impossible thing to do. After one cannot truly see into the inner workings of one's mind, nor can they fully express the triggers that would set them off if the right circumstances came to light. But when it came to Johnny Depp, he arguably had the best reason for not doing that. He was AB'd by his mother, and his father never hurt her in retaliation for what she did to them all. And when Betty Sue, my mother, would go off on a tangent toward my father, and of course in front of the kids, it didn't matter to her. He amazingly remained very stoic, and never, as she was rationing with him with horrible things, he stood there and just looked at her while she delivered the pain, and he swallowed it. He took it. Depp went on to say that there was never a moment when my father lost control and attacked my mother, or hit my mother, or even said a bad thing to my mother. The things that I witnessed, there were a couple of times when it got too far, when I could see his eyes welling up as he was staring at her, saying nothing. The Pirates of the Caribbean star said the most he would do is he would punch a wall. I once saw him punch a wall and he shattered his hand because it wasn't drywall. It was proper concrete. But still, never touched her, never argued with her. He remained a gentleman. To me as a 5-year-old boy, I kept wondering, why does he take it? How does he take this? And why doesn't he leave her? But he didn't. Depp added he was able to maintain his calm and his composure. He was able to maintain his relationship with his children. He is a good man. This was added upon by my sister, who testified earlier in the trial proceedings. She would hit us. She would throw things. When asked if Depp ever hit back at his mom when she was AB, Dombrowski said no, he never went to that place. Really early on as a young child, she said none of what was happening in our home felt good. And so as I got older, both Johnny and I we decided that once we left, once we had our own home, we were never going to repeat ever anything similar in any way to our childhood. We were going to do it different. This is another time when the breaking of composure was very fair, because he wasn't just talking about a rough childhood he had. He was talking about a series of events that shattered his feelings about family, love, relationships, and everything in between. And whether you believe that he did or didn't AB Amber Heard, it's very easy to see how this affected him as a whole, and why it's such a key part of his life. This is also another reason why many people don't believe that Depp AB'd Heard, because doing so would make him no better than his mother, a thought that both Depp and his sister no doubt feared growing up. Again, we can't know the truth of the matter in full, but we can say that this would be a strong motivating factor in one form or another. Pirates. To some, the biggest foul in this whole saga between Depp and Heard is that despite not being proven to have been AB physically to Amber Heard, Depp was branded guilty by Hollywood and very much thrown out of many major roles, including by Disney, who stated that they wouldn't bring him back as the legendary Captain Jack Sparrow for their Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, something that Depp said was caused by the op-ed article and AB allegations done by Heard. When her team in the case refuted this, Depp fired back. I wasn't aware of that, but it doesn't surprise me, he said. 2 years had gone by of constant worldwide talk about me being this wife beater, so I'm sure that Disney was trying to cut ties to be safe. The #MeToo movement was in full swing at that point. A fair interpretation of events, and the bigger loss of composure by Depp was when he noted the deeper betrayal by Disney, including how they continued to use his character and the likeness for their profiting. They didn't remove my character from the rides, he said. They didn't stop selling dolls of Captain Jack Sparrow. They didn't stop selling anything. They just didn't want there to be something trailing behind me that they'd find. But some of you out there may think that if he was offered the role back, he would take it, right? Heard's lawyers certainly think that. The fact is, Mr. Depp, if Disney came to you with 300 million and a million alpacas, nothing on this earth would get you to go back and work with Disney on the Pirates of the Caribbean film, correct? Rottenberg asked. Depp responded, "That is true, Mr. Rottenberg." Depp added that he made those comments after there was a deep and distinct sense of feeling betrayed by the people that I've worked hard for, people that I delivered a character to that they initially despised. But I stuck to my guns with the character and it seemed to work. Jack Sparrow, Depp testified, was a character that I had built from the ground up and was something that I put a lot of myself into. He also said, having added much of myself, much of my own rewriting, the dialogue, the scenes, the jokes, I didn't quite understand how after that long relationship and quite a successful relationship with Disney that suddenly I was guilty until proven innocent. You could feel the betrayed tone as Depp talked about this, and even noted that he was supposed to help write Pirate 6 to help send the characters off in a proper way. But because of Disney, that'll never happen now. And now for something even worse. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had an emotional meeting 2 months after she filed for divorce, in which he asked her to cut him with and said, "You've taken everything. You want my blood? Take it." For a bit of context, Depp was summoned by Heard to San Francisco. For what reason, he didn't know. And when things didn't go how he hoped, he made his own point painfully clear. "I met with her in the hope she would retract her lies, that the world was now fed, had been fed. In no way was she ready to do that. I couldn't understand why I was there. Everything had been taken from me. My children couldn't escape the fact all of this had gone down. I thought Miss Heard had brought me to San Francisco. It was clear under false pretenses. I don't know what she was after. I had a knife in my pocket. I took the knife out and said, "Here, me. That's what you want to do. You've taken everything. You want my blood? Take it." She said, "No." I said, "If you're not going to take it, that's all I've got left." If she wasn't going to do it, I would have done it. I was at the end. I was broken. The only answer was here. That's all I have left to give you. There was no threat to Miss Heard. It was the only thing she didn't have. I was broken and really at the end. That could not have been easy to recount, and it very much paints a picture of how bad things had gotten for Depp, that he would ask the woman he used to love to take his because he had nothing left to give. And there you go, everyone. A look at all the times during the trial where Johnny lost his composure in one form or another. Do you think that him doing this shows just how real he's getting and that he takes this more seriously than people give him credit for? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.